Cubital fossa. In this, the competencies which are discussed are the anatomical basis of venipuncture of cubital veins, the anatomical basis of Saturday night palsy, cubital fossa, and anastomosis around the elbow joint. Anatomical basis of venipuncture of cubital veins. The veins in the cubital fossa are the median cubital vein, cephalic vein, basilic vein. All these veins are located in the superficial fascia and are not accompanied by any artery. Cephalic vein. It begins from lateral aspect of dorsal venous arch. It runs along the lateral side of forearm. Distal to cubital fossa, the median cubital vein starts from cephalic vein and runs obliquely across the cubital fossa and joins the basilic vein. Then the cephalic vein runs superiorly to the deltopectoral groove. Basilic vein. It begins in the dorsal venous arch of the medial side of hand. It ascends to the medial side of cubital fossa. Here it is joined by the medial cubital vein. Then it continues its ascent and pierces the deep fascia in the middle of arm, the median cubital vein. This vein is an important vein. It runs obliquely across the cubital fossa. It connects the cephalic vein proximally with the basilic vein distally. It is not accompanied by any neurovascular structure, that is artery or nerve, and it is predominantly seen in the cubital fossa. And this vein does not move when attempt is made to pass a needle into it, because it is connected to deeper veins by the perforated veins which hold it from any movement while a needle is attempted to pass into it. Anatomical basis of Saturday night palsy. The midshaft segment of radial nerve is right behind the humerus. In this position, the radial nerve is prone for compressive forces, leading to nerve lesion in the radial groove. And this condition is called as Saturday night palsy or sleep palsy. It is said that this type of palsy, that is Saturday night palsy, occurs after a few pegs, followed by the deep sleep of the intoxicated person by keeping his or her arm over the edge of the chair. But case histories of those who suffered does not reveal any such episodes. Other reasons for this type of palsy is partner sleeping over the arm of the individual. So sometimes it is also termed as honeymoon palsy. This palsy can also occur as a result of compression from the edge of the surgical table while the patient is undergoing surgery. Result. The result of the Saturday night palsy or lesion in the spiral groove result in wrist and finger drop. There can be weakness in the elbow as lateral head receives its nerve supply while it is in the radial groove. Some say there is weakness in muscles below elbow only, not in the elbow, as the fascicule that is meant for triceps, all the three heads, gets separated before reaching the spiral groove. Cubital fossa. You can see the cubital fossa. It has a base, an apex, then a medial border and lateral border. The base is formed by an imaginary line at the level of epicondyles. The medial border is formed by pronator teres. Lateral border is formed by brachioradialis, and the apex is formed by the meeting of the medial and lateral borders. Boundaries. So the boundaries of cubital fossa are, it is a hollow present in front of elbow. Its boundaries are medial, the pronator teres muscle, lateral, brachioradialis muscle, apex is formed by the meeting of above two muscles, below, and base, it is an imaginary line at the level drawn at the level of epicondyles of humerus. It has roof and floor. Roof of cubital fossa has skin, superficial fascia and bicipital aponeurosis in it. The floor has supinator in the lateral and lower part and brachialis muscle in the medial and upper part. Contents. The contents of the cubital fossa are from medial to lateral, the median nerve, the brachial artery, the bicipital tendon and radial nerve. Anastomosis around elbow joint. It is the anastomosis between the brachial artery branches and the radial and ulnar artery branches. Superior ulnar collateral artery, anastomosis with posterior ulnar collateral. Inferior ulnar collateral, anastomosis with anterior ulnar collateral. Then, the anterior branch of profunda, anastomosis with radial recurrent artery. Posterior branch of profunda, anastomosis with interosseous ulnar artery. Posterior branch of profunda, also called as middle collateral, anastomosis with inferior ulnar collateral. Thank you.